What's going on, everybody? Mike here. Welcome back to Tahoes and Turbos. Happy 4th of July to all my American fans. Today is the 4th of July when I'm filming this. It's also my daughter's birthday. And I asked her what she wanted to do today, and she said she wanted to maybe go on a road trip. So I pulled out the pocket computer, did some Googling, and found an awesome car collection up in Yorkton. We're going to go check out the Western Development Museum. So I asked her if that's what she wanted to do, and she looked at me and she's like, well, only if we can go shopping too, Dad. I was like, do it, lady. It's your birthday. So we will see you guys there. Check out some amazing cars. I apologize for the wind. It's been crazy storms lately. Had a bunch of water damage in the basement and stuff too. Shit like that. So anyways, we'll see you guys in Yorkton. Well, folks, as you can see, we made it. We are here in Yorkton at the Western Development Museum. I got Mom helping me with the kids because, as you guys know, I'm always worried about them disappearing on me. So, before we go inside, we got some awesome machinery outside here. You guys can see here, new giant steam traction engine from 1910. This thing's absolutely amazing. This is so cool. And like, this place has got a lot of cool stuff from the looks of it, and it's not really hard to find. So Yorkton's been a pretty cool little location. So, and here we got an old, like a threshing machine case, and this is just sitting outside the front, like homemade threshing machine, 1940, made by putting together two of them. Oh, unsuccessful attempt at double thrashing. So that's cool. An invention that was attempted and then failed. Awesome. Well, we got a lot more stuff in there, as you guys can see. Lots of steam engines and tractors and stuff. So we're gonna go and gonna head in now and see what they all have. But if you're here, here's the hours of operation. We already did Moose Jaw. And now we're doing Yorkton, so we have Battleford and Saskatoon left, and I apologize for the wind noise. Anyways, let's get in there and see what they have. Alright folks, before we head in, they got this really cool old bell sitting out front here. You guys can see that, the bell tower from 1905 from the old City Hall. So it's kind of cool, but what we're here for is the cars and stuff inside, so let's go inside and take a look. Alright folks, once you pay your admission, you just walk on in and come take a look. I've already did a little walk around. We'll head this way after. We'll start over here first. We've got some amazing displays. So, some of the stuff you may see might be a lot of the same stuff that we saw in Moose Jaw, but then this is Yorkton and District over here, so you know, a lot of it will be specific to this area. So we'll start over here. You know, the old airports and stuff and how it used to look. So, and I was told about a bunch of vehicles here, and I have not been able to find them yet. So, gasoline rations and stuff. So, but we do have to go check out outside. We haven't done that yet. So then we got some. You guys can read any of that. A couple of big prizes. So this rod weeder actually is here. We'll go see that here in a bit. So George Morris of Bangor. You guys see Morris rod weeder officially opened. My grandpa always talked about how much he always wanted a Morris rod weeder, and the day we did get one, he was like super stoked. So seeing that it's a local, you know, thing is kind of cool. So a bunch of trophies, Regatta Day. So there's a lot of awesome stuff going on. Airplane joystick and receipt books and stuff. Militia Corps. So then we got stuff over here. Am I going back in time? I think I should have started that way and worked my way this way. But it is what it is. Hudson Bay Company stuff. So this is the Yorkton Collegiate Hockey Team from 1912. Wow. This is Big R's Fire. Collegiates. There's the International Harvester Company. That's awesome. There's so much here. Slot machine 1930. Pretty cool. And here, root beer barrels used at Stag Billards in Yorkton. 1930. That's cool. Wall clock. First used at the school. It's the very first school in Yorkton, I guess. Pretty cool. Road work. Older the cash register. That is cool. And we got some more stuff happening here. You guys can pause at any time. The old hospital. Pretty crazy. Okay. What is we got? A brick from the flour mill. That's Yorkton in 1896. And they built this flour mill, which they have a model of it here. 1967. So it's pretty cool. 1885's Fort Watson. Gives you some information about the rebellions and stuff that were happening in the areas. Which, if you actually know anything about history, wasn't so much a rebellion, it was just a giant fucking land grab by European colonists from the east. So, but you know, they want to call it what they want to call it, and you know, our governments, right? We can never really fully trust them. So here we got some more stuff. The watch is from 1891. Pretty crazy. And an 1890, it's found at Fort Pelly rifle. It's probably used in the, what do they call it again? The rebellion, right. The rebellion. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but if somebody was trying to steal my land and shit, I'd be rebelling too. Used in elections, 1894, cool. And then we got the old church bell from 1893. So, a lot of crazy, crazy old history. And the railway bell. And then what does it say over here? Yeah, the ballot box and ballot box locks. Silver. Pretty cool. Fireman's hat from 1900. That's cool. And a freight stamp. That is cool. Well, let's head now to the 100 years of history, and we'll see what they got going on. All right, over here at the 100 years of history, this is pretty much similar to the one that we seen in Moose Jaw last year. So you guys can see that. Pause that if you want to read it. So, now again, I came here under the impression there's a big car collection somewhere. So we're gonna, hopefully that's not just smoke and mirrors to get me here. But anyways, I digress. It's the Centennial Room for Saskatchewan. If anybody cares, I personally don't. I mostly care about this kind of stuff. So, what we got here? First Peoples. We got treaty medals and beaver tokens. Like, that's cool. And then all of this to be just ripped up because of a rebellion. Trade pipes, padlocks, powder horns. You guys can see there's a kettle, a telescope. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff. So, and the Métis people, which is what my daughter is, my oldest. So here it tells you what they are all wearing. So, and then the newcomers, right? So I could press all this and go through all this, but probably an hour. The homestead certificate from one of the first settlers is pretty cool. I'm guessing this was a Bible. Oh, yeah, it is. Family Bible, 1889. Promises held in the Swedish language Bible may have sustained the... I can't pronounce that name. You guys can see that. Family as they made their new home in Saskatchewan. So, yeah, you know, God comes into play lots when you start a new place. So, you gotta pray that your stuff works, and, you know, it should. It's eyeglasses, button hooks, handkerchiefs, pocket watches. 18 Jeepers, eh? Alright, you guys can read the rest of that. And now we'll head into the 100 Years of History room, which, prepare yourself, this is pretty much just like it was in Moose Jaw, but, you know, a little different. So there we go. 1905, Wilfrid Laurier is Prime Minister. Saskatchewan becomes a province. You know, 120 years ago. Walter Scott, first Premier. Which I'm related to the Scots. So then we just keep going. Saskatchewan 1905, you know, the leader, all that kind of stuff. And we just keep going. Saskatoon becomes the fourth city. Regina officially crowned the capital in 1905, I think, or 1906. Probably 1905, because in 1906 it was here. Moose Jaw was the biggest city at one time. Hard to believe. So, it's the old license plate. Married women allowed to own land. Make your own license plate. A homemade leather license plate. So I wonder, that could be the oldest license plate that we've seen so far. I'm guessing it doesn't say the year. Reproduction, 1973. Okay, so it's not the original. Darn. But it would have been. Old phones, hot air balloons, the whole wreck of the Medicine Hat. You guys remember this stuff probably from the Moose Jaw. Earthquakes in Saskatchewan, like there's so much crazy cool stuff. No child labor. Like, what else is there? No child labor. Women allowed to be lawyers. Services for rural communities. A farmer becomes Minister of Agriculture, which, you know, the guy knows what he's doing, he should. Long distance phone calls. Urban municipality. Gets its own court system. So before, where do people have to go? Pretty crazy. So if there was people charged with stuff back in the day, where did they go? So, gramophone, I believe, in Edison. So, yeah, just the history of our province. First streetcars, First government issued license plates. This one's in 1912. Oh. So 1912 was the first year of a government one. This one appears to be an original. Doesn't say reproduction. So that's the original. New vehicles have to give up the right of way to persons driving. Okay, women not allowed. That is, you guys see that kind of stuff? And people think that this new kind of stuff, like is all new, right? This kind of, the way that people are treated is new. You see that? It's been going on forever. And people are just looking for reasons to complain. So Swift Current stuff, Battlefords. We're gonna be going to North Battleford as well. So North America's biggest barn. Jesus. You're down as for a skyscraper. Okay. William Martin. Gopher Day. There's something cool. Straw gas cars. Isn't that something cool, hey? 1916. Provincial police revolver. Saskatchewan Provincial Police take over law and order. Really, when? We have RCMP here. We don't have. I've never seen a Saskatchewan Provincial Police officer. Ever. We have RCMP. We have Regina City Police. We have Southey Police. We got, but I've never. There's Fort Sand. I've never, seen other shit. There's another unique car build. There's a trophy. As you guys can see, a very major award. Having the best soil, I guess. Aviation history. Just gonna pause that. See, all this stuff was at Moose Jaw. It should have been anyways. We were just there a couple weeks ago. Manitou Beach. There's gold. Cool. Okay. Let's keep going around. Let's start hustling up. Because like I said, we could be here for a while and it's just talkies and stuff. It's just, I could be here forever filming for you guys. So, alright, and then in here, this is like kind of likes to show how people first came here. You guys can read all that. Then it kind of recreates like, a ship, right? So you come in and it's kind of like how a shipping quarters would have been, the porthole, and it tells you here. So, and then from here, we got some more awesome artifacts. You guys can see. From then, you guys can read all that. So, because Yorkton was one of the first places people supped. I know my dad's mom's family is from here, so. So what a train car would have been like back in the day. Okay. I'm hoping to find some good cars or tractors or some shit, because seeing what we saw outside and coming inside here has kind of been like a totally different vibe. Especially after driving 3 hours. So, and then from there, and still they come. Right, they're still coming. They're still coming. People come in here like crazy, come in here. So fine. There's the plane. Why are they? I'm not even gonna say it, but so pretty cool. And here we got some more artifacts from people that have come over. Accordions and stuff. You guys can see that if you want. You got a Bible. So, razor is pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, then from here, I said it's probably gonna be a long clip. We come back out, and we continue our, from the 30s all the way down. Just the dirty 30s, the drifting sands. Like it was, when they call it the dirty 30s, they weren't lying. So, like grasshoppers, they took over, basically ate all the vegetation, and the wind just blew all the soil everywhere. And that's what caused the big droughts and stuff, was the massive influx of that shit. So, in case you didn't know, 37 plate. I like looking at all the old pictures of farming and stuff like that, and old buggies and stuff like that. So, CBK radio. I think that was the one that we saw at Watrous, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, folks, but I think that was the name of the radio station that was there. Oh, wait, hey, look at that. It was built in Watrous. So I do remember that. CBK was Watrous. And then that big storm took down the tower. Here, we have a recreation of an old movie theater. Actually, it's really done quite well. So, again, there's a lot of, you guys can pause and whatever if you guys want to read that stuff. It's hard to see in here, it's really dark. So, but all these are all used in movies, all these outfits and stuff. So, the old seating, and videos, which again, I could spend an hour in here just watching videos, but you guys want to see what's happening, so we had some more dancing outfits and stuff. Art Vessi. Probably is some importance. You guys can pause that there. And then we got some figure skating stuff here. Alright, and coming out of the theater, we're back with the war stuff. Let me back up a bit. This is all war rations and stuff like that. And then start getting into the 40s. And, oil and stuff like that. Buses for rural communities, brought everyone together. Okay, then we got a discovery room, which is, a kid's kind of playroom. So, sodium sulfate plant stuff. Huh. Alright. See, I like that kind of old stuff. Those little pictures are awesome. And of course, the Everett Baker collection. There's that guy's got everything, man. I swear. Anything and everything that was filmed was done by that person. So we got recreation here of a Orthodox church, I guess. Ukrainian Greek Orthodox, yep. You guys can see that. Pretty neat. So, and right here, we've got a bunch of radio stuff and television stuff and ColecoVision, Donkey Kong. That's cool. TVs and board games and just everything. That's so neat. So, and then continuing back on the wall. Alright, the cool stuff's on the other side, guys. But we want to show you guys this stuff first. These are the old farming pictures. So, more of the 100 years of Canada, of Saskatchewan. And over here we've got, you know, old hockey gear, curling gear, old puck, you know, from the 40s, 50s. Hockey pucks in the 1990. So, got a curling rock, tabletop hockey game, old skates, and just, you know, your outdoorsy stuff. Got an igloo. Got the tabletop curling. I remember playing this. That was a lot of fun when I was a kid. What do we got over here? The Beatles. And just, you know, it tells you all about Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. It's just all about our, I guess, our provincial history. So, and again, like I said, it's pretty much the same that we saw in Moose Jaw. So if you guys wanted to fast forward through all of this, it would have been not a big deal to me, because it's, again, it's the same. So, curling game from 65. You guys, there you go, get better stuff. All the toys, horseshoes. So, and decoys, golf clubs. Like, I don't know if this is meant to be crawled through or what. So, bonds to curling at King George School, 1945. Outdoors yet. Because us Canadians, we liked our curling, and fishing, and baseball, and sports in general. That is cool. That is really cool. Alright. And then that'll bring us to the end here of this part of the tour, which is, you know, computers and cell phones and Rain Man, Rider Pride, stuff like that. You know, all of the boom that's happening now. Going to space. Saskatchewan's first person in space. And then, you know, I have that at home, that at home, that at home, and that at home. Yep. I literally have all that stuff. Pretty cool. And this stuff too. Except for, well, don't have the Atlas anymore. But I had a phone like that. MP3 player, BlackBerry. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, guys. But, alright. Let's now head to the other side of the museum and see what they have. Alright, now we can start coming this way. Here you guys go. This is very, very important. These shoes right here are very important. If you guys just read that, you'll understand. Okay, then we'll get the train stuff. It's kind of like Moose Jaws was, but I'll give you guys my verdict after, which one I liked better. So you guys having fun so far? Yes.
Look at the wall.
I know, that's cool, hey?
It's old.
It's old. Got the old car. They got me all distracted now being old, damn it. Anyway, speaking of old, we got an old buggy. This is got like Beverly Hillbillies written all over it. But this is how it was. This is what you traveled with. This is, you know, pack up camp and go. You know, you got your crib for your baby. You got your chairs, and you basically made your place. So, Icelandic display. All stuff from Iceland, I'm guessing. And then here we've got this model from 1864, which is pretty crazy. Stamps and stuff. We'll go around this way, and then we'll come back this way, where we got a car with Emmy doing a twirl because she thinks this is a place to dance. over here, we've got basically a British room and a setup how an old living room would be. Pretty neat. And here we just got a bunch of like medical stuff.
Tooth pullers.
Yeah, syringes and bedpans and stuff like that. If I, for any reason, have to pause the video for a minute, folks, it's to smack some kids that aren't listening. You know what it's like. So that was a British room. What?
Just talking to
Oh. So that was a British room over there. This is a German room. So, okay, I see now. It's a German room. So, like, German immigrants kind of... So this looks more like how our house was at the farm, honestly. Cool, cool. I see. I see now. And over here, we've got grain mills and stuff like that. A turnip slicer, which is pretty cool. So, we got lots of handmade willow baskets and flax handles. What the heck is all this stuff? A Jewish school book. Flax hecklers. Dobker stuff. Okay, I see now. I see now. I see. Got shoes. Neat. And here's an American room. How American settlers, I guess, when they came up here, they would have done stuff. That's cool. They got the old little baby bounce through thing, walker thing over there. Neat. Huh. There it is walking. So here we've got a ton of just some of the most beautiful eggs ever done. Like, these are absolutely gorgeous. Like, wow, the amount of work that it take and dedication to do some of these, or all of them, is insane. These eggs are cool. Like, I'm a big fan of these. So, and then over here we've got more just straw carts, grain walk, stuff like that. This is a mill, I believe, hand-operated flour grinder. Yep, from 1896. And here's another kind of grinder, I believe. This is cool. We're gonna talk about this right away. So, and then this room here is in a Ukrainian room. I guess how when Ukrainians people came over, this is kind of how their house would have looked. So, kind of goes to show you the different, different communities. It's pretty neat. So, and then here we've got cameras. Out here, we'll do this last. So, but this, folks, I don't know what year it is. If you guys do, comment down below. But, as you guys can see, Yorkton Fire Department. This fire truck, Yorkton fire truck from, gosh, I couldn't even tell you what year this is. But it's cool as heck. It's all you need is just, you got your pump, and you hook it up to like a hydrant, and it would just pump water. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, see? Here's your pump, and here's your motor, kind of, see? And your steam pump. So, that is cool. That is neat. I wonder what year it is. Is this spin? So this garage in Bangor, Saskatchewan, sorry. He invented, okay, George Ace Morris invented the rod weeder. This was like that one that we saw. I told you guys would come and take a look at. This is it. So my grandfather was always big on owning a Morris specific rod weeder. So, and now I know why. Because it's a local Saskatchewan invention. Kind of like the baler, or not the baler, the rock picker, right? There's a lot of history here that we're gonna unravel for you folks. So, a lot of inventions. So, we got World War II hats, peacetime hats, sun hats, Air Force hats, like Army, German Army, Pickelhausen. That is cool. Cool. So, and here, what do we got here? Acme Pickler. Cool. Hand carved ox yokes. Oh, here we go. This will tell you pretty much all about her. Now we need one of these for the rock picker. I'm thinking I could probably make that happen. We're working on a video for it, folks. So, then here's all the calendars of yesteryear and just all the different kinds of, like, what the fuck is that? Clown shoes? Like, you know what I mean? I think those go on top of horns. So put a whole bunch of different shit up top too. Your radios, cameras. This, I believe, came from Case in Regina. Don't get me wrong. I think we saw something in Moose Jaw about this, if I'm not mistaken. So, pretty crazy. Holy crap, look at that Bible. Or gospel book. I wonder if that's real gold. Probably is. That's amazing. Hand carved wooden tombstone. It was taken from the Lipton Hebrew Cemetery. Wow. And you know what's crazy is we go through Lipton all the time. We go to Lipton on our way here. Cool. And we just got lots more Ukrainian Orthodox stuff, Greek Orthodox. Got a plow. So saddle, phones, yeah. See, this is what I like to talk about before, like how it started here, and then it ended up, right, now we're into the cell phones, and I'm filming on one of them. So, pretty crazy. Whoa, watch out, Em. Excuse me. Oh. We got lots more awesome stuff from displays for, like right now, actually, while we're here, there's actually the fair is going on. So, it's pretty cool. Got a grinder. Got an old pump. Yeah. Remember, this is why you never touch stuff. So a bunch of old boots and shoes and just agriculture. So I'm really wondering what the museum focal point is. I thought it was agriculture, but I could be wrong. Could be the steam tractors. So, pretty crazy. All the steam whistles and stuff from Case. Sickles. And then here, we got Times Square. You guys can see. I do remember too that I forgot to check something, which we will go do here shortly. So, yeah, here's just, old school layout. So, all this wonderful world of toys. Musical stuffs and more toys. Emmy was playing on this earlier. Pretty cool. Got all these other displays. That is awesome. Then over here we got mixers and stuff. So a cream separator. I believe this is an old hand crank cream separator. And this kerosene burning egg incubator. So this is a hatching station before. Cool. All these kind of like this kind of stuff. Just I don't know why it's old to me, because like this is how I grew up. Makes me feel old, I guess. So, old stoves. Yeah, I like this. Looks cool. And then we come over here. Beaded saddles and stuff. And the last little area is kind of so. Now to round out this area, we got the.
You can play in this room.
Yeah, but we got a scale. I got a really cool national cash register. Awesome, awesome. And then when you come out, you've got this guy here. Right, threshing machine tells you how a threshing machine works. And seeing the one outside being like a threshing machine that they tried to do a double and it failed, that was pretty neat. See that they also kept failed inventions. So then here we got a little cutter. 1927 Maxwell. I believe that there was one of these in Moose Jaw, a blue one, and that's what I mean, it was sitting on, or was that a Chevy? I think it was a Chevy. So, but then in here, where Healy is, we've got the Prairie Attic. A bunch of toys and stuff. So we're gonna run through this quick. Richter sets. It's pretty cool. Some of you probably remember some of this stuff when you were a kid. I know I do. Tinker Toys, all the little pop guns and stuff. All the the tractors and trains. So it's pretty cool. Got milk crans and stuff. All these different kinds of memories and stuff from people, which is pretty gnarly. So yeah. So we are almost done here, folks. We've got a little bit left to go. But this is the toy room. Musics and stuff. A lot of really, really cool old toys. So, pretty neat. Amy's got a wave. So, sports day stuff. That's awesome. Okay. Well, we got one spot to go, folks, and then we're going to head outside. Alright, folks. When I was in the 100 years room, I totally forgot about this right here. That there was a house in the middle of the display. Totally spaced on it. I apologize. But you guys can see, this, I think it was built in 1899. This house. Made out of log walls and peat, probably. Let's go step back in time and see what it was like inside of a house 100 years ago, 125 years ago. Got a duck, because I'm tall. See? Anyways, you come in, you got your furnace, nice little porch area here, lots of room for a porch. It tells you all the daily chores and stuff. Tells you how the room is set up. You guys can see. So, and this is pretty much all original stuff in here. I believe, because we got a bed up here too. That'd be the warmest place to sleep because of the wood burning. So yeah, this is awesome. So, all right, folks. Now for the meat and potatoes. And then back outside of the little house, we've got a little thing here that tells you all the different kinds of houses they made. Like, you know, like you click on sod, it shows you how they did them, and all the different ones that were all over the prairies. We got log houses, lumber, right, tents. Come on. These are lumber. Come on. There we go. You guys can see. So, and the sod houses, which is pretty much what I think this is. So, anyways, let's head outside now and see what they got. All right, folks, let's check out the outdoor exhibits. I apologize if it's windy. Okay. All right, let's start over here. I apologize again, folks, if it's windy, but jeepers, this is tractor heaven. Holy crap! This is all farm equipment, implements and stuff. So, got over here, a lot of plows. So, lots of plows and graders and stuff. Mostly these are all just basically plows. I'm not surprised considering this is the cows and plows area of the province. So over there we got Ducks Unlimited. So yeah, as I'm walking by these, look at this, all these different kinds of steam tractors and shit. Holy crap. So lots of plows, lots of plows. I'm just gonna walk around, look at all the plows and the discers. So this one had a platform on it. Oh, it's because it had to have a platform for all the men that stood on it. Each man controlled one of those levers. So you imagine now when you're on a farm, this is being pulled. Look at that big chain. It's being pulled by one of them big fucking tractors, right? Mm-hmm. And you got all these different men dropping it down. So here's this looks like an old cedar, but I think that's just for weight. So, because here's an old cedar, and then we keep going through the cedars and the tractors, guys. Like jeepers! If anything, the baler should be here, or that rock picker should be here, but I can't really say much. It looks like an old cultivator. Here's here's another old cedar. We got more right here. Garden cultivator. Some of them have signs.
You know, that might have even been pulled with a team of horses.
It could have been pulled with a team of horses or an ox, and yeah. But the size of the chain, I'm thinking more along the lines of a steam tractor, like one of these. And we're gonna go in here and take a look at this stuff here shortly, folks. So, so I guess there's no cars here, just a ton of tractors. Like, wow. And then right here, we got an old sawmill. Probably still functional. So, but yeah, there's tractors upon tractors upon tractors upon swathers and combines. Like, jeepers, folks, there's so much in here. Morris. Like, okay, I don't think you guys really understand how big that tractor right there is. That thing is huge. I'm like a good 100 feet from it or so, and that thing is fucking huge. So, come over here. The old Western Development Museum truck. That is cool. That right there could be my thumbnail. That's such an awesome looking vehicle. That is nice. A Thresherman's caboose. Old Ford tractor. That's neat. That is cool. That is so cool. It's almost like those I can't remember the name of them, but they're similar. European tractor made. They're similar to those. I see them on farm sim every now and then. All right. Then over there they got a blacksmith shop, which I'm guessing when they do their agricultural day, like their big event day, they have all this. Yeah. So there's a press, metal benders and stuff, pipe benders, grinders, crimping machines. So I'm guessing when they do their big thing every year, every fall, they have all this stuff open and they're running the stuff and they're doing that. So we got through here. We got a mill. And this is cool. Grandma's up, it's clay baking. So they bake clay in the old-fashioned way. Like that's how they make bricks and stuff. That is so neat. All right, folks. Are you ready? You ready for the tractors? All right, I cut that clip short because it was running too long. Anyways, here we go. We're gonna start here with this yellow guy. Now we're gonna work our way through. I apologize if this is a long video like I did last time, but whatever. A little 2-cylinder. Oh, this diesel. It's got an injection pump. Yeah, that is cool. A little 3-wheeled tractor. If you guys know what this is, comment down below. Then we got this guy here, chain driven. Yeah, this is a steamer, I believe. I believe this is a steam engine. So, really cool. I'm trying to see if I can find any markings on it. Oh, that's a gasoline tractor. Sorry. There you guys go. 1914 Titan. Haha. Look at this. I'm not quite as stupid as I thought I was. That's a happy. This here is a Happy Farmer 1224 gasoline tractor, 1920. So that isn't. That's not an injection pump, I guess, or it could be. I don't know. But there we go. They're actually labeled. Neat. So that's a Titan. This Waterloo boy. Yeah, 1920 kerosene tractor, Waterloo boy. 100% original, or not original, this is restored. Has to be restored. Ran off of kerosene. So, and then got a 1923 Ford right here. Little garden tractor. Or sorry, Fordson. So this Waterloo boy as well. So there's the crank. The crank started. So this thing, yeah, I'm guessing this thing gets ran every year when they do their event. What do we got here? The Moline Universal D. Another gasoline tractor, I believe. 9 to 18 horsepower. This one was used on a farm near Langham. If you guys wanted to pause that and see, but see, look how the reverse design. You got your two little guys at the back, and then you got your butt on the seat there, and then you got your plow at the back, and then you got the engine up front with your wheels. Kind of a backwards design, but you got your pulley up here. that pulley is what spun for the threshing machines. But see, like they got the Waterloo thresher. Oh my god, I'm in like tractor in heaven right now, folks. I'm not lying. So and then this here, 1938 John Deere Model D, as you guys can see. Now we're about to. This is cool. This is nice. Now what's beside me? Well, let me just. Okay. And I'm 6 foot tall. Right? What's beside me is this monster. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 cylinders of just like, what the fuck is this? There's nothing on the sign. It's just that. Like, what in the fuck is this thing? So look at the size of the motor. Like, look at the size of this motor. Like, what did you need to do with this? Like, this is insane. Oh, hang on, what do we got here? Minneapolis Steel and Machinery. The Twin City Tractor. Holy shit. And then the motor. Minneapolis Steel and Machinery Co. Manufactured. So it's the original motor. Original motor on this thing. Oh, fuck. So it's a Twin City Tractor. I've never heard of that before, folks. Wow. And then here, we got a Fairbanks. Kind of the same. But just massive. Now, I don't know if this was a steamer or not. You know, what do you guys think? This is crazy. And then right beside it, we got a Hart Par oil tractor. Look at the size of this flywheel. Oh, this flywheel is like 5 feet around. Hart Par. So I guess it would be an oil burner. This is crazy. Like these wheels. Insane. I should have started out here instead of in there. This is more fascinating for me than it is out here. It is more fascinating than the inside was. I apologize for that, folks. Yeah, okay. That's a Hart Par 3060 gasoline tractor. So, and then this is the Massey Ferguson or Massey Harris. So yeah, 22. Another beautiful tractor. But yeah, this thing is insane. Not as big and insane, I can finally get back here, as the other one, but we can get some back shots here of you guys. Like, look at this. That dude stood here, operated shit, and, like, how the fuck do you see? Like, how do you see what's in front of you? Insane. And this big guy here, same thing. This has actually got a platform to stand on so you can actually see up and over it, but like, look how dangerous that shit is. You got your valve like right there, your rockers. Oh, okay, here it is. Yeah, Twin City Tractor, Minneapolis. So you sat here, steered there, pulled levers, and put your foot on here. And then you cranked on that. Wow, folks. Wow. And like there's still so much to go. Someone's making popcorn or something. Something smells yummy. I'm getting hungry. Anyways, what do we got here? We got another Twin City. This is gray, 1919. Kind of a weird design, honestly. Right? Fully enclosed. I wonder what they used this for. It's fully enclosed and stuff like that. So something smells good now, something smells like ass. So this is nice. So then here we have another Twin Cities. 1990. This is at 1919. Twin Cities. So I think they're going older as we go along. So it's really cool. And then beside it, we've got a Rummel gas pull tractor from 1912. Huh. And again, the way that they're covered up is kind of different, right? But the painting and stuff, the design aspect of it is absolutely insane. It looks like a train. This looks like a train. All right, it's got a wooden cab. This is cool. So ornate with the little details and the paint jobs on them. So, yeah, it's like a train. You stand in here and that is so cool. So then beside it, we have another Rumley, I believe, or advanced Rumley. It's been here for a while. She's buried. So let's see if I can find the sign for it. No, the sign is gone. But it is a Rumley. It's hard to see because everything's so faded, but again, they had really ornate paintwork. Very nice tractors, old tractors. And similar to that other one, it's got this would be the seat, but mount to this. That is cool. Oh, here we go. There we go. 28 horsepower, 530 RPMs. Sold by Advanced Rumley. Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary. Last vendors. Cool. Alright, and then we got another big Bertha here. This here, I would say that's a steamer. Would you? I'd say this is a steam tractor. This thing is fucking huge too. Like, here's the steam can, and here's the motor. Get your crankshaft, and your piston, I believe, because that goes back and forth. Jesus fuck. $17.93 is what it says on it. It's an Avery steam traction engine, so it is a steamer. 1912. So I'm wondering, like, that is insane. I'm wondering if the whole 1793, 1792, that's not when that stuff was cast. But, like, I don't know how they call them a traction engine. How are you getting any traction with these fucking slicks? Never understood that. But wow, like, yeah, like 1739 on the pots. So I'm wondering if this wasn't old train parts that they developed this. 1740. $18.60. And all the casting numbers on here is weird. But this is absolutely amazing. And right beside it, we got another one. Another steamer with the big canopy. These are like the ones that you see in like those videos and stuff of like breaking the prairies and stuff like 100 and some years ago. These big fucking things. Yeah, this is a steamer, 100%. Gar Scott steam track, 1910. Wow. Let's see if I can get around to the back of it. Can I squeeze my fat ass through here? Ugh. I know somebody's name was on here. So, okay. So, well, it's got rubber bolted to the steel. So then we got the stairs to climb up in it. And there's the business. There's your wood box on both sides. And you got your wood burner down there. That is crazy. And we got another one. Another steamer. And another one. And another. This one's kind of broken. But holy fucking hell, I think it goes all the way around for steamers. Until we start getting to the newer tractor stuff. That's cool. Yeah, this clip is running a bit long. So let me bring you back behind a couple of steamers. A couple of steam tractors. And I got my kiddos sitting over there on the bench. They're tired. It's been a long journey to get here today. So, but like wow, like how this stuff still exists. You know, like from how tractors were to how they are now. So, and here we got a Reeves, 1915. And again, they're just basically locomotives. Like that's all they are. Just giant trains that they use for the fields. And here's another one. This one here, like, these back wheels are wide. They're wide. Holy jeez. And that's a lot of metal. That's strong. All the rivets. This was a heavy duty bugger. The Geyser. Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. 1913. And here's another one, a little bit better condition than this one, but I think the same exact tractor, if I'm not mistaken. ZZ's 1415. This is a 1440. Pretty much the exact same. Yep. Just a different paint flavor. It's not as wide of wheels. And again on the back, you got your water tanks for the steam. So, pretty cool. Then we come over to this guy here. That's all fancy. Again, another Waterloo. It's got its water boxes on the back. This one's in really good shape. I think one of these tanks is water and the other one is for wood. So I could be wrong. I'm not too familiar with steamers, but they're amazing tractors. So, and here's the Waterloo from the front. It is a 14. And like, again, look at like the ornate, you know, even though it's going to spend its life in a field doing menial, like doing hard work, I still wanted to make them as beautiful as they could. And nowadays everything just looks the same and is kind of blech, but it is what it is. And you can tell that these have been operated like recently because there is fresh ash underneath them and tools. So the maintenance guys here have been running these, which is fucking awesome. So here we got ourselves an old case. Portable steam engine, 1905. Is this self-propelled? It could be, but I don't think it's a drivable one. I don't think somebody drove this. I think this was just towed, or pulled out to the field by a team, and then fired up, and then the belt driven for the threshers. So I could be wrong. Judging by that, could fucking glasses fall. It could be actually self-propelled, judging by the rear axle stuff, but not too sure. Here we got another steamer. There's the flap. But here is this. This is another one of those ones that would just come out to the field and fire up, and then it would spin the belt for the threshers. Yeah, pre-1900, so they don't even know how old this is. All they know is that it was really, really old. That is cool. And then we got another one, 1905, portable steamer. This is a bigger one though. And I don't know why you'd sit up front. I don't know why you would sit here. Right? Why? Then we start getting around to these guys, which I apologize, it's a long video. So, this here is the Mogul, 1914. This guy here is a bigger 1913. Oh, and we got pump and stuff over here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, it's a hot day today too to be doing this. 1910 Mogul. So makes me wonder who had all these. Like who kept all these? Who saved them all? Who had them sitting on their farm and decided to donate them? So big ass clevis hook back there, and again the business, just like a train. So then we got the little motors, the stationary motors that they use again for threshers and for other kind of belt driven technologies. This here is clean. This is another advanced Remley, 1917, kind of like the one that we saw over there. But this one is in really good shape. I don't know if it's original. I wouldn't say. I'd say it was restored. Just because of the graphics. Yeah, see, this is the same kind as the other one was, except for this one is, and there's the seats actually on this one that swings in and out. So, yeah, so this is cool. It's just like what we saw, except for this one's actually all together and seems to be pretty much all here, all the numbers and all the decals and everything. Really nice. I wonder why they called it an oil pull when it's gasoline. So, International, 1918. Weird looking motor designs, hey? the little motors, but little seat. Then we got something that start looking more and more like cars and stuff like that, which is, you know, pretty much where the tractor kind of eventually went to. We got a Herbert Light 4 1916, and okay, this is the Herbert Light, the 4-cylinder. It looks like decompression valves as well. Really cool little tractor. Then beside it, this here's a 1914 Twin City 6030 gasoline tractor. So like a Twin City's like them big fuckers over there, but not quite as big. Not quite as big. These are still cool tractors. And then we've got grain blowers, hammer mill. We had one of these at the farm. It's pretty much exact same. This is what we used to make chop out of for our cows and our pigs. For our that chop stuff. Oh, that's itchy. Ooh, I don't even want to think about it. I hate doing chop. Here's a Minneapolis, 1911. So it's kind of just like the Herbert. You see that? See how they are very, very similar in their build design, the frame, and the rad side-mounted radiator with the motor. See, they're same, but different, kinda, right? So we got an Emerson from 1916. This is a cool looking tractor. It looks like a car, and that's what you'd want. Like that's what you'd want back then. I think it's covered up, so you don't have to worry about the elements. You got your fuel tank right there. You got your seat. You got step up high. You got your shifter. Oh yeah. And you got this awesome paint job. And again, gear driven. Some of them are belts, some of them are gear. Like, it's pretty crazy. Then we got a 1915 case. Haley's looking like she's ready to get going here soon. But shortly, kiddo, we'll go eat. You ready to go? Okay. Well, I'll get you a phone charger. Well, I have one in the truck. Okay. Well, we'll be going soon, kiddo. It's her birthday, folks. I can't argue her. So, here's a rare orchard tractor. And see, like that's what I was saying. Like stuff like this would be like an orchard tractor because it's covered up. Right. Same with this. Like everything. You see how low everything is on this? You sit super, super low because you're going under tree branches and stuff like that. So. What? No, that's not going to take long. So, and then we got this Rumley. I just like how they're cast. 1930. And then over here, we've got International Portable Gas Engine. I don't know where that is, but right here. International Harvester 15 portable gas engine. So right here. Then they got the portable steam motors, stationary gas engines. Again, like I said, these would be dragged out into the field and then hooked up to the threshers with the big belts. So, awesome. Let's do a quick run through of the other guys here and we'll call it a day. Alright, folks, almost done here. We've got some, we're just going to walk through this quick. Mini steamer and trailer donated to Yorkton Saskatchewan Club by the art. Cool. This is a mini steamer of a case. Really, really well done. And again, yeah, the wood boxes and stuff. Then we just got a bunch of wagons. grain carts and stuff. Hay baler. Powered by a sweep, compresses cut hay into bales for livestock feed. Just pretty crazy. I see something. Oh, look at the bird nests. They must knock them down. So here we have a Toronto rake, 1894. Now, how far can I get through here? We got a wagon box. Designed, manufactured, distributed by Fred Nybrant. Maybe that's right. Brant. Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Back when phone numbers were like 19-31. Like this is old. Whoa, there's a hole. And this Anderson stuff makes me wonder, because Anderson, well, it's local to us, so this is cool. We got an old tractor in here. And as you guys know, old tractors are my thing. Absolutely love old tractors. So we got some straw, some wagons, more wagons, and like just to get like a view of like some of these tractors from behind, like this Haley, and these things are fucking massive. Some of them. Right. Got Adam's grain wagon. Got a UGG grain grower's box. I got my first mosquito bite of the year. Damn it. We're gonna get a storm probably later. Here's a dry wagon, used for dry goods and deliveries of barrels and stuff. Another grain wagon. And here we got ourselves an old cockshut, 80. This is a nice tractor. That's a really nice tractor. All original. I'm trying to tell by the decal. I think it could be. If it's not, then it's a really old restoration. So, alright. That's this shed. Now we gotta come over here to these cutters. Which, you know, it is what it is. They're all binders. Right? Basically swathers, if you will. We got a McCormick binder, Massey Harris. And see, we've seen a bunch of these in Southey. Like, they got them in the bush behind the shop. So we got a Jones. But see, that's the cool thing, is they don't have them labeled. These they have labeled because, like I said, there's different manufacturers 100 years ago. John Deere. You know, there were so many different, watch out for the hole. There were so many different manufacturers of equipment during the boom era, and then it ended up just getting whittled down to like Case and John Deere and Massey Ferguson. This is a huge, what is this? This binder or whatever? I don't know if you guys are getting the grasp of this. I thought this was like a bunch of different things. Oh, I smell hot dogs. I must be having a stroke. Anyways, I thought that this was, you know, a bunch of different binders. This is one massive fucking. So you'd cut the grain, it would go up into there, it would go in, and then into there, and then get shaken and into this drum. So basically, this is like a rudimentary combine. A pull type. Okay, there's the sign. Let me stop talking like an asshole. Like I know what I'm talking about. Let's go see what the sign says. So, you know, this old machinery gets a guy thinking like, wow. Yeah, here we go. We got the sign. It is a harvester. Best Way harvester, built by Greg, manufacturing company. So basically, this was one of the very, very first combines. One of the very, very first combines that you pull, and it would. That is fucking cool. The things that we uncover. Wow. Then we got more thrashers. We got McCormick Reaper. Massey Harris stuff. Massey Harris Reaper. McCormick Binder. Getting attacked by bugs now, which is weird. And we have a 1951 Morris Swather, built by the Morris Rod Weeder Company of Yorkton. Company to complement the Alice Chalmers All Crop 60 left-hand cut combine. Cool. So it's like one of the very first Swathers then, probably ever. We got binders, yeah, but so we got so far on our journeys, we've discovered like the only world's only self-propelled rock picker, and what looks to be over here like the very, very first ever actual combine, separate from threshing machines. So it's like they took that idea, mixed it with one of these, and created a combine. So pretty cool, hey Haley? Alright, speaking of, we've got one last row to go, and then we're done. Alright folks, last row of awesome, amazing machinery. Starting off here with the wing feeders for Stanley Jones threshing machine. This is an international harvester. I don't see a sign for it anywhere. But you pulled it. So is this like a steam tractor? Wing feeders for Stanley Jones threshing machine. So it spun and it hooked up to one of them. So I'm guessing. Okay. Here we have a cute little awesome little tractor. This Avery is so fucking awesome. 1919 Avery. And it's got a pail under it. So you know that it's leaking oil, which means if it's leaking oil, it's got oil. And if it's leaking it, that means it's been running it. So I'm so jealous of whoever gets to run these. But it's been in the ground for a while. They're sunk. So here's an old thresher. Super old thresher. So, and then here we got Call the West threshing machine. Which is it, this one here? No, this is an international harvester. This is all wood. All wood. And it's painted, highlighted. That is nice. So okay, so let's do this then, I'm guessing. Is this one. So then this guy here would be the Robert Bell threshing machine? I'm confused, because this is an international. What is this one? Is this the Robert Bell? I'm trying to see if I can find any kind of, not any kind of, yeah, any kind of labels, any kind of writing. What? Oh, yeah, this one here, feeder for Nicholas Shepard and threshing machines. Fed grain into the cylinders. So these fed grain into this guy here. Which again, these things are huge. Nicholas and Shepard Red River 1915 threshing machine. Oh, it's very hot out here, Haley. These things are huge. Like, here's another one. Nicholas and Shepard Red River threshing machine. This is the kind that I know, like that we've had a lot on the farm. Is these the metaler ones? Right? The wooden ones we never seen. Like they never survived. So, because I'm not gonna lie, these wooden guys had a tendency of starting on fire. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Robert Bell engine and threshing co. It says way up top there. If you guys can see that. And then the international one, I guess, was whatever. But yeah, there's the auger. It'll come out to the back. So yeah, these things like to start on fire.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You're wooden.
Well, grain dust is very, very, very explosive. And there was lots of, well, he got exposed, you know, everything is exposed. So if you get a chain, if you get like, say if you get like a little bit of a rock stuck in a chain and the chain link came around and it hit that rock enough to make a spark, that spark from that rock could ignite and fucking blow shit up. Yeah. Farming back in the day was not, well, it still isn't safe, but it's not nowhere near. It was way crazy. Like, look at this. Like, look at the fuck. Yeah, this big car motor, or truck motor, mounted to a single. This is weird because you got the truck mounted, or the motor mounted to the flywheel, mounted to, you know, the bats, the drums, which go back to this one. So really, you wouldn't need a motor. This is like self-propelled. Again, Red River, Battle Creek, Michigan. This is cool. I'm starting to see the evolution here of combining. If you guys are following along with me, right? Mix that with one of these, and and you have a combine. Because if you look way up there, there's a platform and a steering wheel. I wonder if this didn't slide out. Huh. And then combine. So here's a Bell City thrashing machine. And there's that big belt that I talk about. These belts are long, like. Huh. All right. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, and then we'll end off with this Waterloo. What year is this? Champion Waterloo threshing machine, 1910.
Wait, is that from exactly, like...
This is fucking... Huh?
Is that from the exact year?
Yeah. This is crazy. They got some bricks, as you can see, it's starting to sink, which is causing stress on the wood, which causes it to pull out of the pins and break, so they got it braced up very well. I apologize for the wind. We got into a wind tunnel here. Yeah, see? It's starting to crack apart.
Yep.
Because as it's settling, yeah. And this is also why you don't see too many of these wooden ones around anymore, folks. Like, to see that International over there, as mint as it is fucking insane compared to like how this one is falling apart. So, I'm stuck. There we go. Trying to get through here. Yeah, Waterloo champion. So, alright. Cool. Alright folks, well I think that concludes today's video here at the Yorkton Western Development Museum. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure as heck did. There's so many tractors. I wish there would have been cars, but there might be a different rotation happening right now. I don't know. So we still got Saskatoon and Battleford to check out, so stay tuned for that. Anyways guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm now going to take the kids out. We're going to go have something to eat. We're going to go shopping. Have a good old day here in Yorkton. So But this is where I'm ending it. So, till next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Love you. God bless. And I'm going to leave you on this little question. If you found out, hypothetically, okay, if you found out that you only had, so long to live, would you tell anybody? Or would you keep it a secret and spend the last time you have traveling, enjoying life, exploring, and taking your kids all over different places? I'll leave you with that. Anyways, guys, till next time, take care of yourselves. Love you. God bless. And I apologize for the long ass video.